Hello and welcome to this video on how to become a full stack developer in 2026. A lot of people online are asking whether web development is dying because of AI. But the question in 2026 is not whether full stack development is dead. The real question is, can you become the kind of developer that companies still need in an AI first world? Because while people are busy arguing online, the market is still moving. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics project web developers to grow by 7% from 2024 to 2034, with around 14,500 openings every year on average. At the same time, Stack Overflow 2025 survey says 84% of developers are already using or planning to use AI tools, and 51% of professional developers use them daily. And that is exactly what this video is all about. In this video, I am going to break this down in 10 simple steps. We will talk about what a full stack developer actually does, which stack makes the most sense in 2026, and what skills really matter, how AI fits into this roadmap, and at the end I will also give you free resource so that you can start learning without wasting months. That combination of stronger job demand, rapid AI adoption, and clear shift to a typed modern web stack suggests the opportunity is still very real, but the bar is higher now. With that, coming to the step number 1, which is understand what a full stack developer actually is. Now, before learning anything, you need clarity on what this role really means. A full stack developer is someone who can work on both the front end and the back end of an application. The front end is the part user can see and interact with, like the buttons, page, form, dashboard, and layout. The back end is the part user do not see directly, where the logic runs, like where data gets processed, where authentication happens, and where databases are managed. So when you hear the term full stack developer, it basically means someone who can build complete flow of a product. They can create the user interface, connect it to the server, store the retrieved data, and make the whole system work together. Now, if you can understand both the sides, you can become more valuable because you are not limited to just one layer of the development. Now, coming to step 2, stop getting confused by too many stacks. Now, one of the biggest mistakes beginners make is that they spend too much time thinking about the stack and too little time actually learning. They keep asking things like, should I learn Merge, should I learn Mean, Django, Java, Spring Boot, React, Angular, Vue, Next.js, or something else. But in the beginning, this confusion wastes more time than it saves. You do not need perfect stack to begin, you just need one good path and enough consistency to stick with. A tech stack simply means the combination of technologies you use to build an application. For example, Merge stands for MongoDB, Express, React.js, and Node.js. Mean stands for MongoDB, Express, Angular, and Node.js. In both the cases, some parts remain common, but the front-end side changes. Now, if you're a beginner in 2026 and you want a complete practical beginner-friendly path, I would suggest learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then TypeScript, then React, and then Next.js or React-based full-stack development, followed by Node.js, Express.js, database fundamental, Git, and project building. Now, the most important thing here is not the name of the stack. The most important thing is whether you can build real application with it. Which brings me to step number 3, which is start with front-end, because this is where the web begins. The first learning step in your roadmap should be front-end development. This is where you begin understanding how websites and applications are structured and how users interact with them. The front-end is the visual side of the web, and this is where you should first build your confidence. Start with HTML, learn how web pages are structured, understand headings, paragraph, form, button, images, links, section, semantic tags, table, and input. Do not treat HTML like a formality. A lot of beginners rush through it, but strong HTML makes everything else easier. After that, focus on CSS. CSS is what makes your website look good and feel polished. Learn spacing, color, font, alignment, box model, positioning, flexbox, grid, responsiveness, hover effects, transition, mobile-friendly layouts. The goal is not just to decorate a page, the goal is to be able to take a plain HTML page and turn it into clean, usable interface. Once HTML and CSS start feeling comfortable, move to JavaScript. This is where the front end becomes dynamic and interactive. JS is what lets your website respond to user actions, handle form submission, show dynamic content, fetch data from APIs, and behave like an application. You need to understand variables, functions, array, objects, loop, condition, events, DOM manipulation, async, await, promises, fetch, and error handling. And please remember this, do not just watch JavaScript videos and feel like you have already understood it. Practice it, create a small to-do app, build a calculator, make a weather app, create a dark mode toggle, or build a search filter. Coming to step 4, which is learn a front-end framework. So once you're comfortable with the fundamentals, the next step is to learn a front-end framework. In today's world, especially in 2026, companies do not usually build big product with plain HTML and CSS or JavaScript alone. They use frameworks and libraries that make the development faster, more structured, and easier to scale. The most common beginner-friendly and industry-relevant choice is React. React teaches you the component-based development, which means instead of building one giant page, you start breaking the UI into usable pieces. You learn components, props, state, hooks, form, routing, rendering, and API integration. And that shift is very important because this is how real applications are built. Now after React, you can move to Next.js if you want to stay aligned with modern full-stack development. Next.js helps you handle routing, layout, API, server-side rendering, and full-stack structure more efficiently. With this, coming to step number 5, now move to Backend and understand how the logic works. After Frontend, you move to Backend. This is where your applications stop being just pretty screen and start becoming real products. The Backend is the brain of the application. It is responsible for handling requests, sending responses, storing data, authenticating users, validating information, and connecting the frontend to the database. Now, if frontend is what users see, backend is what makes everything work behind the scenes. Now, a beginner-friendly backend path is Node.js with Express.js. Node.js allow you to run JavaScript on the server side, meaning onto a local system, and Express help you create APIs and routes more easily. While learning backend focuses on concepts like what a server is, how request and response work, how API works, how CRUD operation work, and how authentication is handled, what middleware does, how error handling work, how environment variable are used. Do not try to memorize definition. Build thing, create route for login, sign up, fetching user, adding product, deleting task, or updating profile data. With this, coming to step number 6, which is learn database. Because application need data, now that your backend can process request, the next step is learning how to store the data and retrieve the data. And that is where the databases comes in. A database is where your application store information like user, products, order, blog post, comments, or any other data your app needs. Broadly speaking, there are two types of databases you should know about. First is relational database and second is non-relational database. Relational database include systems like PostgreSQL and MySQL, where data is stored in structured table. Non-relational databases include systems like MongoDB, where data is stored more flexibly, often in the document form. Now, a lot of beginners immediately jump into MongoDB because they hear about the MERN stack. But MongoDB is useful and yes, it is worth learning. But my honest advice is that you should also learn SQL and relational database. Thinking because a lot of real-world applications depend on structured relationship and queries. So if possible, start by understanding database basics, then learn CRUD operation, queries, relationship, collections, or table indexing, and how your backend connects to the database. Now, once you can store user data, fetch, record, update entries, and delete them properly, you start feeling like a developer instead of someone who is just following the tutorials. With this, coming to step number 7, which is learn Git and version control. Because this is a part of real development. This is the one thing that separates people who are just casually learning from people who are becoming developers is version control. In simple words, version control helps you manage code changes. It lets you keep track of your work, go back to the older version if something breaks, and collaborate with others in a structured way. The most important tool here is Git, and the most common platform is GitHub. You should know how to initialize a repository, add files, commit changes, push code, pull updates, create branches, and merge them. This may look small in beginning, but it matters a lot. GitHub is not just a place to store your code, it becomes your portfolio. It shows proof that you're actually building things. So from the early stages itself, start uploading your project, maintain clean repository, and writing proper README files. Now coming to step number 8, which is build project, because this is where everything actually connects. This is probably the most important step of the whole roadmap. You can watch all the tutorials in the world, but until you build project, you will not truly understand full stack development. Projects are where front-end, back-end, database, Git, problem solving, and debugging all come together. This is where your real growth happens. Start small, build a portfolio, website, a to-do app, a simple calculator, a quiz app, or a landing page. Then move slightly ahead and build API-based projects like a weather app, a movie search app, a recipe finder, or a GitHub profile finder. After that, start building a real full stack development like Notes app with a login, a block system with a dashboard, an expense tracker, a task manager, an e-commerce project, or a student management system. Now coming to the most crucial step, which is step number 9, understand how to use AI the right way in your journey. Now we cannot talk about becoming a full stack developer in 2026 without talking to AI. A lot of people are scared that AI will replace developers, but the truth is more practical than that. AI can help you move faster, but it cannot replace deep understanding. So yes, use AI, use it to explain code, debug errors, understand concept in simpler words, generate practice questions, review your project structures, and suggest improvement. AI can save you time and help you learn faster, but do not become dependent on it for every single line of code. If AI writes a whole project and you cannot explain what your own backend route is doing or how your authentication works, then that skill is not really yours. The smartest developer in this era are the ones who use AI as an assistant, not as a replacement for thinking. So while learning, always ask yourself, can I explain this code? Can I modify it? Can I debug it if it breaks? And can I build a simpler version from scratch? If the answer is yes, then you are learning the right way. With this, coming to the final step, step number 10. Free resources you can use to learn all of this. Now, before we close, let me give you some of the free resources that can genuinely help you to learn all of this without spending money in the beginning. For HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, one of the best places to start is MDN WebDoc because it explains web concept clearly and properly. Along with that, the playlist by Simplilearn is amazing for hands-on experience because it gives you structured lesson and project. For React, the official React documentation is very helpful and much more better than many random tutorial. If you want to learn Next.js, you can use the official Next.js document and tutorial. For Backend Basic with Node.js and Express.js, start with the official Node.js documentation, then use beginner-friendly YouTube tutorials while building your own APIs. For databases, you can learn MongoDB from MongoDB University, which offers free learning content. And for SQL, you can use PostgreSQL tutorials or free SQL practice platform. For Git and GitHub, the official Git documentation and beginner Git tutorial on YouTube are more than enough to get started. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching this till the end. See you in the next one.